Strategy is what's going to set you free. No hype, no tools, no hacks, it's strategy. Welcome to Freedom Entrepreneurship, where we are answering one question. How can we have both growth and freedom? My name is Stephan Poschik. Let's get started. I'm again in a beautiful place I call home, and actually on the other side of this hill over there is my house where I have beautiful view over the ocean, and I decided to just give a little bit a different view from the background today because I want to talk about something which is hyper important but not very attractive, let's call it that way, and that's strategy. And there are so many things around strategy and so many wrong beliefs around strategy. But when we as entrepreneurs really want to experience freedom entrepreneurship, strategy is one of the single most important things. And you probably already heard me talking about business architecture in some of my former videos. If not, just go back to one of my former shows where I deep dive into business architecture, how we need to structure our business to really get out of that. But today I really want to deep dive on the strategy topic. And to be honest, when you take a look at a lot of online trainings, a lot of online videos, a lot of podcasts, there is not a lot talk about strategy. There is a lot of talking about the right AI tools, the right marketing tools, what's the right hack on Insta, what's the right hack on LinkedIn, what's the right hack for XYZ, and on and on and on and on and on. The issue though is, yes, of course, we can use all these tools. Yes, of course, we can be very, very busy, very easily busy as an entrepreneur. But at the end of the day, how productive are we? How strategically we are moving forward to our goals? So is it just every single day we are hustling and grinding and we are just somehow figuring it out on the way? Of course it will feel very intense. Of course it will feel you are very busy. But the results are in a lot of situations not what entrepreneurs really want to see and what they really want to experience. So let's get started with a couple of very general things when it comes to strategy. First and foremost is, when you have your work week, you need to make sure that you have time on your schedule to work on your business and not in your business. So what's the difference? Working in your business is basically doing the operations, doing the sales, doing the marketing, handling customer calls, handling team members, hiring new team members, training new team members. That's the operational stuff. Okay, but what is working on the business? On the business would mean going through your KPIs and analyzing your KPIs to figure out how was Q1 and what are the learnings from Q1 and what do you need to adapt for Q2 that you can achieve your goals faster, better, or more sustainable in Q2. Working on your business would be coming up with an HR strategy. How many team members do I need to hire in the next 1 year or 3 years to achieve my goal of XYZ on revenue? Working on this business would be getting yourself out of dependencies. So for example, creating SOPs, defining your most important processes in your business, then building an SOP, a standard operating procedure around it, and then being able to delegate it either to technology or to a team member. These are just some examples of working on the business. On the business should get you as the owner and the founder out of operations and out of dependencies. That's a very important thing. And my personal experience is when I do not have this time blocked in my schedule on a weekly basis, it's just not happening. It's literally just not happening. So get it on your schedule and make sure you really have time blocked for that. I personally, for example, have on Monday mornings and the full Friday, I do not have the availability for doing meetings. I work on my businesses. And that's, by the way, the only way on how I can run 5 different businesses on 2 continents. Yes, I have team members. Yes, I have an incredible team. Yes, we use a lot of technology. But still, my job is I need to work on the business. And on the business is exactly the strategy what I was talking about. Good. Next topic around strategy. There are multiple areas where you need to have a strategy in place in your business. Of course, you need to have the overall strategy. What is the overall strategy of your business? The overall strategy is directly related to the goals you want to accomplish, to your personal, professional, financial goals you as the owner or the founder of the company have, and directly related to the overall direction, so to the vision and mission your company is going. That's the company strategy, what you need to have in place. And then, like an org chart, you need to have different strategies in the areas of your business. Like you need to have a sales strategy. You need to have a marketing strategy. You need to have an operational strategy, a strategy for delivering, for fulfillment. And when you do not have a big team around you, guess who is important, who is necessary, who is in charge? Now I have the right word. Guess who is in charge of all these different strategies? You are. You are in charge of these different strategies. As soon as you start to build an organization around you and you have, for example, somebody who is responsible for sales, or who is your marketing manager, or your project manager, or your CMO, your chief marketing officer, then these people need to be in charge of this strategy. So you, the entrepreneur, the owner, the founder, you are generating the business strategy, the overall strategy. And this is something you can never, ever delegate and give out of your hands. Because that's your job, because that's your business, and that's your dreams and your future you are building here. And as long as you are small, I highly recommend you're also generating the marketing strategy and the sales strategy, the fulfillment delivery strategy. And then you just help your team members execute this strategy. So they really step into accountability and they execute this strategy. So now is the plan, or now here is the question. What if you never worked on a strategic level? First of all, change it as fast as possible. But where can you start? First thing is, every entrepreneur should have a coach or a mentor. So reach out to your coach and mentor, and please also make sure that your coach is experienced in strategic work and that your coach is not a marketing expert only. When he's a marketing expert, awesome. Please use him for all the marketing topics. But do not make the mistake that you use people like that for your business strategy. A business strategy is something different than just a marketing hack. Very important. Okay, so coach or mentor. If you don't know where to start, call me, reach out to me, just text me. You find my contact information. The easiest way to get a hold of me is over LinkedIn, and just use my name, Stephan with a P and an H, and Poschik, that's Poschik. Or if you don't want to talk to somebody, technology again is your best friend. So use your favorite LLM. I still use ChatGPT for all of these topics, and then just do a strategy session with your AI tool. And tell your AI that your AI is now the strategic expert, very experienced in building a business strategy for your type of company. And then just talk and say, hey, I need a business strategy. I need to figure this stuff out. And based on that, the AI is going to give you a bunch of questions, and then you just walk through these questions. At the end of the day, your business strategy needs to bring you towards your goals. And your business strategy needs to bring you towards the freedom of life you want to achieve as an entrepreneur. If these two criteria are not hit and your business strategy is not providing that and does not show you a clear path, a clear structure, then you need to go back to redo your business strategy. Because at the end of the day, why are we an entrepreneur? To hustle like crazy and just be busy and exhausted and tired? At least I personally have other goals for my life, because I want to be free. I want to have the opportunity to stay and live in beautiful places like that. I want to travel. I want to spend time with my loved ones. I want to have a great social life. And guess what? Yes, of course, I want to have financial freedom and I want to have business success. But I want to have the full package and not just one. That's exactly what Freedom Entrepreneurship can give you. So a lot of success with your business strategy. If you're stuck somewhere, just let me know, reach out. I'm here to help, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next time.